Hey guys, this is Downphoenix, and today I wanted to talk about some Fallout 76 rumors being spread by a certain bearded gamer that probably should keep his mouth shut sometimes. But anyways, what exactly are we talking about? We're about to find out. Okay, so there is news going around on the internet that EB Games in Australia is pulling copies of Fallout 76 off of the shelves. Now, this could be due to a number of reasons. I mean, for example, Australia is known to be very famous for censoring games and even banning them and boycotting them outright because of violence concerns and whatnot. So I think that's probably the most likely thing, but someone had proposed that the reason why they're doing this is because they're preparing for a launch of a free-to-play version of Fallout 76 soon. Now, if you are like me, you're probably very surprised to hear about this because Fallout 76 literally just came out a couple of months ago. Now, it obviously has not sold as well as I'm sure Bethesda has hoped, and hasn't done as well as they hoped either, but that's what happens when you rush a game to market without properly testing it, right? At least that's what the case is for most companies, and now Bethesda finally feels a way to that since they love to release games in an unfinished state and have a lot of problems. That being said, I still am a big fan of Bethesda games. I love games like Skyrim. I love Fallout 3. You know, they make a lot of great games. Fallout 4 was a little disappointing for me, but you know what? I kind of did pick, notch that as like, everybody makes their mistakes, but Fallout 76 is one I haven't even bothered to pick up yet. And it's a game that really has soured me from the very first reveal, so I really wasn't that excited in the first place. And I mean, if it really goes free to play, wow. I mean, that's terrible. I really feel bad for the people that bought the game at launch at full price, or even worse, the Power Armor Edition. I mean, I can imagine how pissed off those people would be if this actually happened in the near future like it is supposedly claimed. Now, I could see maybe a year or two down the road, if the player numbers keep dropping and so on, that it eventually would probably happen in order to try to get some last money out of the game, essentially. Try to maybe encourage some people to get it for free. Maybe they'll get hooked on it. Maybe the game will be patched enough to where it'll be a lot better than it is currently. And maybe the game could be successful that way. But I just don't really see that happening at this phase. This is still very young. There are games like Battleborn, which has failed a lot more spectacularly, might I add, than Fallout 76. And it still took more than a year before that went free to play. It took a long time before that game finally went free to play, considering how bad it did. Or Evolve. Remember Evolve? That game's not even alive anymore. That's because both that and Battleborn basically got killed off because even after going free to play, they still could not make up for their lack of player base, and so they had to basically axe those games. And you know what? That really sucks. But the thing is, Fallout 76 is still, in the grand scheme of things, a lot more successful than both those games. Look at the sales charts, people. Look at the people that are actually buying the games, and you'll see. It's obvious. Plus, this is Bethesda's first real flop in terms of from their actual Bethesda studios. Now, they've had games before that they released that didn't do so well, like Brink, for example. But the thing is, those were just games that they published. This is their first legitimate failure, at least in modern times. They weren't necessarily considered the best developer back in the early days before they started becoming really renowned for games like Morrowind and Oblivion. But the point I'm trying to make is, we need to really be careful about rumors. Like, if we see a rumor on the internet, we need to really analyze it. But we also need to realize just how bullshit it could be. Because some things are just completely too good to be true. And that's what this is with this case. There is nothing that will tell me that this is going to happen. Not within the next year. I've got a Fallout lunchbox, prized possession from Fallout 3 Collector's Edition. I'll smash it up live on camera if it does go to free to play before November of this year. And I'll probably not like buy a Bethesda game brand new ever again either, because talk about a complete way to shame your customers. These are the people that really supported Bethesda and really believed in their vision. It would be the dumbest move in the history of the company for them to make this game free to play so soon. You should give it at least a full year on the market before you even entertain the idea. Now, if you want to do something like put it on Game Pass or Humble Bundle or whatever, that kind of stuff happens. Even successful games like Overwatch were put on Humble Bundle, so that's not the worst. And then there's games that sometimes get released on PlayStation Plus. Just saying. But if it goes free to play entirely, that is a huge disaster. One that I'm not sure the Fallout franchise will recover from. So, that's all I've got to say about it. But till then, Downphoenix out.